tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. So begin setting the body up in a comfortable seat for meditation. Any posture that's conducive for comfortable or easeful stillness. If you're sitting on cushion, bench, chair, floor, anything that makes it possible to find an upright spine. And we orient ourselves toward this dignified uprightness. Maybe lifting a little through the sternum, letting the shoulders fall open. Soft through the belly to receive the deepening breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, if possible. And with the intention to orient our meditation around the quality of impermanence that marks every experience we have. We can begin right away as we ground and settle the body and find the breath. And just weave into our arriving process just the noticing that as we check in with how we feel, with our energies, our moods, comfort or discomfort in the body, that we're checking in with these qualities because they change. And we check in with them again and again because they change, because our mood is not exactly the same as it was earlier today, or yesterday, or last week, or last year. We check in with our energy, our wakefulness, our sleepiness, because it changes hour to hour, sometimes minute to minute. We check in with the state of the mind, if there are strong feelings moving through the heart, if there are stories, images that we feel immersed in. A story by its nature isn't static. It changes, new information always arising, new experiences. We have the body with its posture, its sensations, its energies and moods. As we feel all of these, we have a sense of this moment's tone. And you can connect with this moment being not quite the same as any moment that's ever happened in your life. You've never been exactly here with exactly these people, exactly this old, doing exactly this thing, with the world exactly as it is right now. And so this first exercise in recognizing change and the lack of permanence in anything is partly just to feel what it's like to be here in this new moment. And then the reminder is the breathing. And one of the most concrete reminders of change. Can you feel your next in-breath like a new experience? So similar to past breaths, but not exactly the same. Feel a few in and out breaths in this way, each one brand new. Similar but unique, like snowflakes. Shaped by conditions. But sometimes when we are attending to a very repetitive object, and they all are in a way, we can forget to see change because it feels like one thing is happening. Just more breathing, more sensations, same kind of thing as ever. So if you need help to feel more deeply how different or new this moment is, you might bring more into your awareness. So there's the in and out breathing. Maybe you also include sounds. So there's a flow of breathing, rising and falling in the body. There's a flow of sounds appearing and disappearing through the ear, through the door of the ear. Really noticing when the sounds disappear, when they reappear. So we begin with this surface look at change. As we settle and arrive, ground with the breath. And what happens with this inquiry, if we get really still, we move toward a little samadhi, a bit of deepening silence and stillness. From long breaths, we relax and let the breaths become natural, unforced, shorter. As we relax, the sense of the whole body can come forward. If we go toward presence itself, We can set down story and image as they flow through the mind. Relax body and breath. Feel the whole body as we breathe. And then let a stillness deepen through the bones, through the cells. Let the silence be thick around the body, the stillness dense, filling the room you're in, like you're held in this field of loving stillness. As we are developing this state, working on this stillness, you can notice that you make all these micro adjustments to the posture, to the gaze, to the kind of energy applied. Part of how we can include the inquiry into change, Aniccā, as we settle into more stillness, is just to notice the adjusting, the guiding, the kind of intention and effort needed to do this relaxing, settling, arriving. Anytime there's doing, there's change. And as it succeeds and our state shifts, even slightly toward stillness, silence, peacefulness, focus, noticing these qualities as they arise as a kind of changed energy through the system. As we settle into stillness, inevitably the mind will at some point pick up the thread of a story, a distraction, a feeling, whatever's nearby, whatever's pulling on the heart, wherever the charge is. When you notice distraction or thought arising, before you just let it go and come back, and just sensing or seeing, really understanding that this thought has appeared out of conditions. The condition of its dissolving is already present, but it's new. Even if it's an old pattern you've thought a million times before, this particular thought is new. And you might feel how newness, new thoughts, new feelings, new arrangements of ideas just bubble through the mind, changing, 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 even as they seem like same, again and again. We'll practice in this way in silence, mostly orienting towards stability, samadhi, stillness. But anytime anything happens, either a deepening in stillness or a falling away from it, noticing that as change, that our state has changed. We just acknowledge it, feel the process of our state changing. And whenever we choose letting it go, and just coming back to the silent, steady breath, rising and falling through the whole body. the verse in Pāli that celebrates the insight into impermanence or Aniccā. It's traditionally sung at funerals, spoken by one of the devas, the divine beings, right before the Buddha's death. And it translates as impermanent are all conditioned things, their nature to arise and pass away. Having arisen, they cease. Their full cessation is bliss. There's an understanding that with impermanence comes a certain kind of delight. Impermanence is forced letting go. If we can understand it fully, the letting go that comes is blissful, is joyful, it's deeply nourishing. So the mantra to impermanence. Anicca vata sankhara uparavaya dhammino upachittuva niruchanti te samupasamo sukho. Anicca vata sankhara uparavaya dhammino upachittuva niruchanti te samupasamo sukho. Anicca vata sankhara uparavaya dhammino upachittuva niruchanti te samupasamo sukho.